welcomed the annual Sustainable Development Charter Conference and the launch of the Wales We Want report.
So this conversation was part of a global conversation to share the work that we're doing in Wales in terms of the legislation and the national conversation, how we're trying to translate those global goals into national goals. The worst game in the world is trying to predict the future. But I think we can set out what we think are some important foundations, important values on which we base that future. So for each of these foundations, we are making recommendations to the local service boards that currently exist, to the public service boards that will exist under the legislation, who will have a duty to produce well-being plans for their area.
2028. Cafodd y broblem gwastraff ei datrys y flwyddyn hon. O hynny ymlaen, doedd dim yn cael ei daflu i mewn I dyllau yn y ddaear. Roedd yma yn ailgylchu popeth pan fyddai'n gwisgo, ac fe stopiwyd cynhyrchu pethau na ellid ei hail ddefnyddio neu ei hatgyweirio.
Da iawn ti, Carys. Arbennig, chwarae tig.
Wales must put sustainable development at the heart of what it does, and there must be an independent critique. And that is the bill that is going through at the moment.
But it's working with you and asking you to help me and help people who make them decisions. This won't be only just about a Welsh Government bill. This will be about a principle of what Wales and the people of Wales think about.
It is my privilege to be with you again. It's such a joy to meet and hear from children and young people. Their honesty, their energy and optimism are infectious. How can we build for the future if we don't invest in the people who will decide what that future will be? Our children are tomorrow's teachers, tomorrow's doctors, innovators, environmentalists and peacemakers. This aspiration is called here the Wales we want, and is an expression of our country's belief that every person, every child deserves, has the right to a fair opportunity of health, prosperity and dignity.
A very powerful speech. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much, Michael. You have overrun, but there was no way he was going to step in.
I was drawn in the report to a quote by a young girl who simply said, "I want a Wales where every child has healthy, tasty food every day." And so I don't think that any more explanation is required to stress why our members believe that rural Wales should be a greater priority.
Ond beth sy'n wahanol yn hwn ydy'r nifer o bobl maen nhw wedi cysylltu efo. Wyneb yn wyneb 7,000 a degau o filoedd o'r eraill hefyd trwy weblyfr ac yn y blaen ar y we. A dwi'n meddwl efo'r lleisiau na a'r pwysau na tu ôl efo enwau mawr fel Michael Sheen tu ôl efo, dwi'n meddwl mae rhaid iddo fo lwyddo, a mae'n hanfodol bwysig bod o'n llwyddo hefyd lles yn plant ni a'i plant nhw, nid yn unig yr amgylchedd hwn.
I grew up thinking that leadership was about telling people what to do. And as I've got older, I've realised it's more about listening to what other people have to say, really. As I, talk to people around Wales, especially young people, there is no lack of opinion. There is no lack of passion. There's no lack of, wanting to get involved.
We helped develop a youth club in
That's quite good, yeah.
Did you know that? We presented what we did in Catalonia to a group of headmasters from Leith Talbot County.
Michael's documentary, The Charters, they died for democracy. It's so negative what we have now. There's no young leaders, there's no leaders up and coming in Welsh politics.
Do you agree with it? I think at some schools it needs addressing, but I think it's not the case everywhere.
Yeah, it's just opening up channels and giving yourself avenues to work across to spread your interest and message, connecting with other people and giving people an opportunity.
This afternoon, we'll hear from Natalie from Canal Cymru, who has done a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes.
Sustainable Development Charter is a network of organisations working across Wales to make Wales a more sustainable nation. The Charter is a voluntary commitment to SD, with over 275 pioneering organisations now signed up. We've opened up the website for you to all use, and we've given access to signatories so that they can log in, upload their own information, and there's also a forum there that they can use to speak to other signatories.
Our strapline, I suppose, is changing places, changing lives. So we do the two in conjunction with each other. So we run something called the Furniture Revival, based in the Upper Rhymney Valley. There are some quite serious issues of poverty in those communities. It employs local people. We've turned it into a sustainable business.
We rent cars. We're a polluter, so we have to do something to reduce our impact on the environment as well as enhance our communities. One of our mission statements is to strengthen our communities one neighbourhood at a time. So if we don't live our mission statements through sustainable development, then we may as well just not have them. What better way to do it than through the Charter as well?
Do you know what? I think things actually may change. And on the back of that, you've got some really important people behind you. Well, diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you all very much for coming along here. Those of you who've sat and listened, those of you who have taken part, and those of you who've taken action outside of here as well. Safe journey home, one and all. Diolch am ddod. Thank you very much indeed.